Gentlemen, ladies, folks, Sandamtod here. Actually, going to do a little pickups video. This is some stuff over the past. A lot of it's from last weekend, but some of it I ordered this week, and a package actually came from eBay. I know what it is because I only have one thing ordered at the moment. And then I've got a few other little things, so we're going to check this out. I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little weird. It just seems like since about mid-June, the weather's been really hot here, so my house just seems like musty inside because the air conditioner's running like all the time. So it seems like I wake up and I feel congested and stuff. And I haven't been up that long. I've maybe been up about 20 minutes, 20 or 30 minutes. But I wanted to get my day started by doing a video, and then hopefully we can get something posted and start working toward getting a couple more done. I do have an idea for upcoming video. I know I keep pushing back that PlayStation 3 video, but I just know it's going to be so damn long to do that collection that I keep putting it off. And that the other night I was thinking about something else, and it made me think of doing a different collection that I have never done. And I don't think I have quite as many games, so it'll go quicker. And you may not be able to deduce based on what I've posted, because we did the GameCube collection not too long ago, and we did, I've done a Dreamcast, and I've done a Sega CD one before. I don't know if I've ever done a Sega Genesis one. I did a Dreamcast one at one point, but I think I've gotten more Dreamcast games since I did that video. And also my 3DO is kind of, all of it's kind of spread out. I mean, I did do one video at one point, but I think I, of course, bought more since then. So it might be time to update some of those old collection videos and redo them. And my eyes watering too. I mean, it's just, I don't have allergies, or didn't used to. I mean, I guess you can develop them over time. Makes me wonder if I got one of those freaking ragweed or whatever allergy things going on. Sorry, I got to duck out of frame for a second. I dropped my tissue thing. Okay, so anyway, this is what it's about. It's about video games. And my cousin decided he wanted to get me, Joe decided he wanted to get me something for my birthday, and he wanted to get something to help me with my collecting, you know, and I was like, well, that's cool. And he was going to get me a box and some instructions for one of my games that I just had a cartridge for. And at first he was like, you know, could you, and he told me what he wanted to look for, and he goes, could you maybe look at some and tell me, because he was worried about the quality of it. And he's being overcritical because the one he got was great. I mean, for the most part, the ones I get are in worse shape than this usually. Although that it just pops into my mind that Who Framed Roger Rabbit I got, the box was almost pristine, and I guess it just never got played, you know, or taken in and out of the box, and that's why. So a game like this, usually the boxes are torn to shit. But he had IM'd me back on the Facebook and said, don't worry about it, I found one, cool, I'll come out this weekend, maybe we can go video game shopping or something. I was like, awesome, cool. And so he came down last Friday, and he brought me this, and this is pretty damn cool. It's a game, like I've explained before, there are some box games, but I'm not going for a complete box NES collection or anything. I've got about 126 now, counting a couple you're getting ready to see. And this one is an awesome game. It's, you know, it still goes for a little bit of money. When I think about it, though, how much these went for when they were new and how much they're going for now, it's not like they're above what the retail price back in the day was, you know, and the cost and the what's that, exchange rate or whatever, the inflation rate, that's it, is different. So they were even worth more back then, and now they're like, you know, you got to pay $35 or something for a complete copy, and you're like, yeah, man, I can't get it for $12.99. You know, that kind of deal. So I had put off getting this one, but it was one that I wanted, and he picked a winner. And that is the game. Now, the cartridge in here is mine. And it's the one that I got from the kid when I was a kid that I traded him Star Voyager and like $5 for it. And I think it's got some initials carved in the back of it that aren't mine. But the game is Double Dragon. And I have some of these covers still, these clear sleeves, but I'm almost out of them. And might have to order some more. These were a good investment for those boxes. But the box it's in nice shape, and it still has the original H-seal shrink wrap on it for the most part. It's ripped down a little bit here, but really it's still got most of the shrink wrapping on it, which probably helped keep it kind of preserved. It's never been crushed on the sides. Sorry folks, I have a tendency to maybe get it out of frame. A little bit of wear, but that's used but not abused, as I say. And both flaps were on it because he was like, so I kind of explained to him, I said, you know, this one's in really good shape. I said, it's got both the flaps. I said, I try to usually make sure I have the flaps, even if they're just barely hanging on. But, you know, sometimes there's a little, like, crushing on the side. I'm not super critical about it if it doesn't look like it's been totally folded to where the arch really messed up. And then, I want the full top flap. I don't want part of it like ripped off or anything. But if there's wear on the edges, like where it's whiting because some of the box is wearing off or whatever, I don't really care. And this one's probably about a 8 out of 10 in my opinion. And that Mario that I bought is probably about a 5 out of 10. I think I have Bad Street Brawler is a pretty or Renegade, not Bad Street Brawler. I don't have Bad Street Brawler. Renegade, the copy I have, the box is piss poor. And there's that one, I did buy a replacement copy, but there's that one RC Pro-Am where the whole back of the box was ripped and I taped it. That one. So here's the instructions, and they're nice and crispy too, and they don't ever look like they've been dog-eared or anything. And this was one of those games that kids, for some reason, just tore the shit out of these boxes for the game. And yeah, here's the original cartridge, and it has the initial CAR carved in it on the back. And I don't know whose initials those are because the kid that had it, his name was Eric. And I think he borrowed it from a different kid or traded him for a different game, this other kid, and that kid said he lost it so he could keep the Double Dragon. But I'm not even sure it was his Double Dragon. I've talked that story before when I explained some of the stuff from my childhood. If you haven't seen my childhood Nintendo memory video, that's where I talk about that stuff. Okay, we need to move faster because I think I'm running out of time already. Okay. So, since I've been talking, let's get this rolling. So Joe came down, we went out and did some shopping. During the week for my birthday and then up to the 4th of July and through, I did order a couple things kind of for my birthday, to myself, I guess. One of those being, and I did go over to my sister's for my birthday, and they cooked some nice fat steaks, and we watched movies and stuff, and that was cool. I picked up another rock candy figure. This one is from Thor Ragnarok, and that is the Hela rock candy figure, which is pretty cool. There's a Harley Quinn one that just came out not too long ago that is based on the Suicide Squad movie. Suicide Squad, where she's got the jacket on and the bat and the fishnets and stuff. I think I'm going to get that one. It's out right now. And then there's one Harley Quinn one coming out soon. I think it's September, called the DC Bombshells. And that one, she's got like a bomber jacket on and the white face paint and kind of her hair pulled up, I think. You know, I'm trying to think. I do have a pop that's a DC Bombshells, but this one is the rock candy one. So I'll probably be getting those 2 candy figures before too long. Okay. Let's see if Thor's sister will stand. What were you the god of again? Alright. I like those. They're only about $10 or $12. They're not super expensive like some of the NECAs. But these really aren't meant to be played with. I mean, they're more statuettes or whatever. But, you know, I think they're stylized, but I like them. And, yeah, I primarily buy the female ones. You have to... I swear I might have been a chick in another life, for real. I like dolls and freaking... Yeah, action figures are kind of like dolls. And I always take females when I play games, for the most part, if there's a female option. Either that or it's just because I like looking at the females while I'm playing. You know, one or the other, I don't know. And then I bought this. I'm really into the show Westworld. The second season just played out. I've got a lot of theories and a lot of stuff. I don't talk about Westworld on this channel because I don't think most of y'all give a shit. If you do give a shit and you want to talk Westworld, I would love to talk about it. But I'm not doing videos and stuff on it because I go to a couple other pages. There's this guy named Hacks Dogma who does breakdown videos. There's another guy called Meshflix, which does breakdown videos, and I think both of them do really good jobs. So I go there and I leave comments and stuff, and I have commented on other people's. I've never had anybody comment on my stuff to instigate the conversation. You all know I like to go back and forth in the comments, but I have left comments on somebody else's theory or whatever, and then they've responded, so we've talked back and forth, but nobody's ever instigated a conversation with me, which is kind of a bummer. So anyway, Westworld's pretty damn cool. I have all the pops. This from the season 1. I don't know if they're doing season 2 pops or not. But in the Loot Crate a while back, they released this Westworld specific item in the Loot Crate box, and I remembered seeing it. My buddy that I used to work with showed it to me, and I was looking through my IM feed with him for some reason and saw it, and I was like, oh yeah. I go, I bet I can get one of those on eBay. Well, guess what? You can get 2 of them on eBay. Because I ended up getting 2 of them, and I'll explain why. It's the Loot Crate Super Emo Friends. It's basically a scene from toward the end of season 1. But they're these little figures. The reason why I have 2 of them is because I've ordered this one first, and it is sealed still. It's never been opened, and I'm going to leave it that way. It's not crushed on the sides either or anything. It's in really nice shape, and actually they sent me this in a Loot Crate box with a lot of bubble wrap around it, so they really did a good job of not, this not getting damaged, which I like. The second one, the reason why I ordered it is because I wanted one that I could take out of the box, and this one was already open, and I only paid $5 for this one, and there was no shipping, free shipping, so I mean, it was only $5. The bottom still got the tape on it, but the top doesn't. For some reason, there was like a sticky sticker or something on the back of this, and I think that's just sticky and part of the sticker. It's not actually ripped the box, so I think I can get that off of there if I want to. But this box is a little crushed on both sides. $5 though, and I was able to actually take it out of the box. Now I don't have it here because I took the one out of the box to work, but there's a little Bernard figure here, Dolores figure, and then there's this little diorama thing that's behind them. I'm sure you could Google it if you really are interested in knowing what it looked like. But, yeah, I wanted one that I could take out of the box. And originally I was going to take that one out. And then I decided I'd wait a minute because I have this weird thing with having to cut tape or something or open something. Collectible. It's like I buy it, and if it's sealed in some way where it's going to damage the box or it's going to be considered unblemished or blemished at that point, I don't want to do it. And cutting the tape means you open that. I mean, technically, the Thor Ragnarok thing, yeah, I took it out of the box, but no harm, no foul. I'm not going to try to sell them as new, but, and I don't think this Hella one, I think somebody took it out of the box to begin with because the flap was tucked in weird. But, you know, I'm not like cutting anything or tearing anything to get into the box. I'm able to get into the box without damaging it, you know, very much, I guess. And so yeah, I didn't want to cut it open, and I went back on there and saw that there was one for like $5, and there was free shipping, and I was like, okay. I think the other one I paid like around $10 for with free shipping. So I think for both of them I paid $15. Alright, I've got like 3 or 4 things left now. So this is the stuff that when I went out with my cousin, I picked up. We decided we were going to go over to Resell Electronics, and actually they've been the best place for me to go as of late. In that PS3 360 range, the games are really reasonably priced and usually in really good shape. The selection's getting a little small on the 360. They still have quite a PS3 collection, but I'm kind of reaching my limit with that. And then they have PS2 stuff and Xbox and stuff. Speaking of Xbox, yeah, that's part of this. I was looking through some of that, and my cousin was looking at some different games, and he's like, this place is actually pretty cool, because I'd taken him there once with his son, and we looked around, and didn't have a lot of time at that time to kind of look around, and so I think he really kind of digs the store, because I mean the prices are fairly reasonable. I mean, they do have a lot of like retro cartridges and stuff, but a lot of it is what you're gonna pay at this point. You know, if you want to pay $15 for a copy of Top Gun cartridge, then go ahead. You know, but I don't want to. So anyway, I was kind of looking through some of their games, and I believe it was at. Yeah, it was at the first one. I picked this up, and the reason why I said original Xbox is because this is an original Xbox game, and I had the second one of these, but I never had the first one, and I just recently was kind of looking through some stuff and was like, oh, I don't have that, so I picked it up, and it was $4, but it's complete. It's got a sticker from, I think, Vintage Stock or someplace like that on it. And that's X-Men Legends. And they wanted $30 used for it back in the day. The X-Men Legends, this was pretty cool. I also have X-Men Legends 2, as I was saying. And the disc is in really good shape. It probably needs a wiping off, but that's about it. Yeah, so X-Men Legends, and yeah, I was like, that's pretty cool, and I was over there looking in this other area where they had controllers and some of their systems and case and stuff. They had a PlayStation 1 console in there with like 2 controllers or something. They wanted $30 for it, and I was like, I don't know, man. I was like, no. I turned to my cousin. He goes, $30, and I go, yeah, I know. And I go, you remember that one I pulled out of I have a tub in there, and I think I showed you all at one point. I pull one of them out of there, and it's got grease pencil written on it. It says $1.99 on it, and it's like, you know, to think about paying $30 for that. Because really, the PlayStation 1 is an obsolete console. I mean, PlayStation 2s are backwards compatible, and it's just like, if anything, the PlayStation 1 is just a throwaway console almost. Sad to say. But I was overlooking at their consoles and stuff, and this controller caught my eye. And I was like, originally I thought it was a plug and play, because of the way it looks. And then I started looking at it, and I read the tag, and it said, then I saw the plug, and I thought, well, it's not a plug and play, it must be a controller of some kind. And for some reason on the ticket they wrote for Genesis or Commodore 64. That's because they both have the same end on them that you can plug in. This is not meant for a Genesis. I looked at the bottom of this, and it says it was made in 1983. You know, the Genesis was not even out until the you know, early 90s, maybe 90. So yeah, this is a Commodore 64 controller for the Commodore 64 games for this franchise or whatever. But it's one of my sucker franchises. Usually when I see interesting stuff for this franchise, I pick it up. And I think this is pretty cool. It's the Commodore 64 controller for Tron. And yeah, I think there's a game called Discs of Tron, and then there's a couple other Tron Commodore 64 games, but it has the end here, and what it does is it see how it spins like that when you pull the cord out, and then you can, you know, roll it back in. Takes time, of course, but you know, it's kind of an ingenious way to keep the cord from getting damaged or anything. But yeah, it's only got one button on it and the joystick, but it almost looks like the Tron joystick from the arcade machine. So I don't really know what you would play with this. I don't know if I don't think swiveling it does anything. I think it's just moving it forward, back, left, and right, and pulling the trigger button. And the trigger button feels really loose. I don't know. I don't have a Commodore 64, so I can't even try it. And I don't have any Commodore 64. I had some. I don't know. It could be played on a ColecoVision too, couldn't it? Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, they have Commodore or Genesis on here. Maybe ColecoVision. I don't recall at this point. So yeah, I basically bought it because it's a conversation piece for me, and it says Tron on it. Tron Network. And it actually says Walt Disney Productions on the bottom. 1982. Probably can't see that, but yeah. So it was a licensed deal from Disney for Tron, and it kind of looks like the disc, you know, like a Tron disc, which is kind of cool. Conversation piece, it was $7. I don't know if I said how much it was. And I told the guy when I bought it, I said I'm not going to use it for anything. I just bought it because it looks cool and it's Tron. And so after that, we decided to go out to a different, to the other resale electronics in Lee Summit, and because I hadn't been out there but one time, and he was like, yeah, I got time, so we went out there and we looked around, and I think he picked up something else, I don't remember what, and I ended up picking this up. I have the first and second game, and I had never bought this one because I never really even started playing the second one, but it was only $3, so I went ahead and picked it up, and it's complete, and that is a copy of Fable 3, and I have Fable 2, and I had started it, but I never got very far into it, and then I did beat the original Fable and Fable Lost Chapters, I think. Here's my Xbox Live unique code that was never used for the bonus game content. Never used. It wasn't pulled off. See? See? And then the instruction book. Color instruction book. Nice. $3 at the Resale Electronics in Lee Summit. Disc looks clean. And so, Fable 3, 360 games. So that adds another one to my 360 collection. And on the way back, we were passing by another pawn shop, and I'd never taken him into that one. It's called like Pawn USA or something, or Pawn America. I don't know. Pawn everything. And we went in there. We're looking around, and I noticed they don't have a lot. They have very little actually, but I was looking at the PS4 games and stuff. And I saw this game, and it piqued my eye. It's a PS4 game, but I'd never heard of it. And my cousin was like, "Oh, I've heard of that." And he goes, "My son was talking about that not too long ago, and he said it was pretty damn cool." And he goes, "I don't even know if it's been out that long." Well, it's been out a couple years, but still, it was $10, and I haven't played this yet. And I think I might do a little gameplay on it with some commentary. And that's a game called Dying Light. And I paid $10 for it. It looked like online it was going for around 12. So I think that's about reasonable. And it does have the instructions and the little extra code or whatever. Probably redeemed, but you never know. You can check it just to make sure. It was a GameStop game at one point, but I got this at the Pawn America or whatever the hell it was. $10. I stuck it in and let it install or do whatever it does, but I have not played it yet. This past week I didn't play any games, and so yeah. But I do plan on giving it a go. I'm still playing Skyrim some, and yeah. So it looks cool. It's like a survival. It's kind of an open world survival horror game. I did watch the trailer on YouTube, and it looked kind of interesting. I don't know. It looked kind of weird with the guy kicking from that first person perspective, but that's just me, I guess. I just think it looks weird. But there are other games that had the kick, and I don't know. So, last things last, eBay package. I don't know if I have a box knife here. Of course I don't. Damn it, Bithead. Every time I do this and I think about Bithead 1000 saying, "Have your box knife ready." Well, I didn't. And now I'm causing you to have to wait for me to dig through this shit. But, like you care, I'm opening the box, see? Maybe. Jeez Louise. This guy went all out. There we go. Oh yeah, come to Papa. Sorry, folks. Alrighty. I kind of picked this up on a whim because it had been in my watch list for a while, and it was getting ready to expire in the watch list again, which means it sat around. So it was $12.99. There was no shipping involved. It was free shipping, and that is a game. It was actually the game in the box, and that is the game Cobra Command. I love this box. And it's in pretty good shape. It's probably around the same quality as the one I got from my cuz just recently, which is really good. It's like about an 8. I didn't know, I'd forgotten it actually comes with one of these sleeves, so I had gotten one out because the guy was like, but it's just the game and the box. And the reason why I was okay with that, and I think that's why I was selling it for like $12.99. It does have the styrofoam thing in it, but it does not have a Nintendo sleeve, which, you know, I can get a sleeve out of some of my other stuff. I don't have enough sleeves to go all the way around, but usually if the games are in the cases, I go ahead and put sleeves on them if they have boxes and stuff. The reason why I was okay with it is because back a long time ago, somebody gave me a bunch of instruction booklets, and one of the ones that I already had was for Cobra Command. So I do have some instruction booklets for games that I have like carts on that I need to only like maybe look for a box or something. So we're going to put these instructions in with the game in the cart. Now, like I said, I need to get a sleeve for this probably, but now we have a complete copy of Cobra Command. I think that brings our total up to 126 unique CIB, meaning cartridge instructions and box games for the NES. And then we have 4 copies of Iron Sword in the box, and some of them are missing directions. So I think 3 of those are cartridge and box only. I have an extra Rad Racer, an extra Ninja Gaiden, 2 and a Final Fantasy, but none of those have instructions. They're just the box and the game. And I'm not that worried about finding instructions for those or whatever, because it can get expensive. You know, we're buying $5 a pop instructions. This one guy's got these Quattro Sports instructions, which I do need. He's had them on sale for, I think, $12.99, but I've been watching them for like 6 months, and nobody's ever even looked at them. And it's like, I feel like just saying, hey, dude, if you'll back off the price to where I pay $10 even and that's it, I'll buy them from you. Because they are a little bit hard to find. He's one of the only people I've seen with them, but they've never sold, so evidently they're not in high demand either. So, anyway, I'm going to get out of here, because otherwise I'll probably talk through the end of this video, and then we'll be screwed again. And I don't know, I may have already. No, I didn't. Lucky you all. So anyway, seriously, thanks for coming by. Pickups video and some talk about.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?